I'm Kim Dooley, and my guest today is John Miller, who also is my bandmate in JK and the Frets. So we've known each other for over 10 years or so, and I wanted to have him as a guest today because he is a great example of reinvention after retirement. And so, John, thank you for being here today.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
And so, John, just start out by telling our viewers about your work
Sure.
experiences and kind of what you did for a living.
Okay.
And then we'll start with that backstory.
Oh, I don't know if you could really call it living, but I spent 40 years as a retail executive, both in corporate and field positions in various companies around the United States. And when I was working, basically my work defined who I was. And that was very important to me. You know, I got to wear a suit to work every day. I got to be the boss. Um, But I first retired at the end of 2011, and something had come up, and I was able to leave the company with all my benefits, and really went into retirement with no plan. So I sat around the house for a month. My day consisted of I got up in the morning about 6 o'clock in the morning. I would have my coffee, I'd have my breakfast. I'd go out and take my morning walk and then think about what I'm going to do the rest of the day. I didn't really have a plan. So after a month, I went back to work doing the same thing that I did. I spent another 8 years doing that. And then COVID hit. At
Mm.
that time, my parent company went bankrupt. Thus, they closed my operation down. I was 64 at the time. In 2 months, I was going to turn 65. And I took a look at my life and decided that, you know, it's a perfect storm. Now is the time for me to retire. So I did. I took my retirement at that time, again, with no real plan on what I was going to do. But by that time, I had already gotten involved a little bit in music and with Kim and with our band, the Fabulous Eight Tracks. So, you know, I had a network out there of people that I was able to connect with. So I kind of got into the music scene and spent quite a bit of time pursuing that dream, which had been a dream of mine ever since high school.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you're very good at it, by the way.
You're very kind.
So, so talk a bit about kind of at that experience, at that time when you all of a sudden COVID and your store shut down. Did you have like, did you feel angry? Were you frustrated? Were you, um, you know, just
You
kind
know
of
what?
what were the
I looked at it
emotions?
as another opportunity
Okay, good.
because I was ready to retire. I had no intention all along. I had no intention of retiring at 65. And again, I describe it as a perfect storm. I was the right age. It happened at the right time. And
Yeah.
I just says, well, you know, I'm going to see what else I can do with my life.
So I know you had a landmark birthday this year.
Yes, I did. I
We
turned
don't have,
70.
oh, you said it. I wasn't going to say. But do you feel like um, at this age, did you start to feel like maybe my health isn't what it used to be, or I can't do some of the things I used to be?
Well, yeah,
Or
I
how
think
do you
about
feel
that.
about that?
I actually stay active. As you know, I frequently bicycle. And I'm proud to say that at the end of this month, I'll have racked up 500 miles on my bike this year, which is my goal is to ride 100 miles a month. So I've got the time to do that now. Talking about goals, that's one of the goals I've set for myself this year. This year, I'm going to ride 1,000 miles on my bicycle. Um,
That's
but
great. Staying active
you
is
know,
important.
thank goodness, knock on wood, I'm healthy. I do think about getting older a lot. But you know, so far I don't have any impairments that restrict me from doing anything I want to do.
No, that's wonderful. That makes a big difference. So, do you feel like, because some people in our age group, they look at their pensions or their fixed income or whatever it may be. Do you feel like you have financial stability now that you are retired?
I do. We don't have any extravagant expenses. We've been in the same home now for 25 years. And this year we had our 40th wedding anniversary. So we're very grateful for that.
Congratulations.
Things are pretty stable in my life.
Good. So when you think about this transition, because a lot of what I do in my coaching work is I use the slogan, don't retire, reinvent. So what advice might you give someone about doing the things they've always wanted to do and dreamed about? What
Sure.
would that look like? Is there anything you've always wanted to do and have not done?
Well, I've always wanted to operate a marina. Wanted to have a big boat and operate a marina, live on the water somewhere. And
Ah,
I'm not doing that. But I guess second best to that is through the music business. I got involved with an owner of a distillery, and I'm living life. I'm making whiskey and playing rock and roll at 70 years old. So
so you're
um,
still cool.
I'm
You
still
got
cool.
it.
Well, cool is a broad term. I'm busy. Let's put it that way.
So thank you for, your honest description of that reinvention and what that looks like. So I've heard you say that when you did retire, you were ready to retire. So sometimes that's not true of everyone in our age
Right.
group. And then I heard you say that you were able to spend more time on music, and now you're working in a distillery. And really, you feel like, are you living the dream?
I am, I live in Texas. That's a big part of the dream. That's one of the goals I'd always had was I always thought I'd end up in Texas, living in Texas. Um, I'm healthy. I'm very busy. And I really like the direction that my life has taken since retirement.
Oh,
I've got
that's
no
wonderful.
regrets.
Yeah, no, that's great. So I want to ask you just one more question, then we'll close. So if you could do anything else, like let's just say you're busy, but do you feel like you're intellectually stimulated in what you're doing now? Or are there's some regret maybe about I'd like to still be able to use some of what my experience was in the past now in retirement?
There is, one of my goals when I got out of college, first thing I did was look for somebody to send me back to college. I'd like to get my PhD. But as things went, my career trajectory did not take me along the lines of my major. I ended up in business rather than in the sciences. But right now, I'm challenged because I'm learning biochemistry at the distillery, and of course, music is, in my mind, is a series of mathematical equations that I have a lot of fun with. But yeah, if it was anything, I also miss a lot of public speaking in front of large groups. But I guess I can kind of get some of that back by performing in front of a group.
So I know I'm just starting the business now, but is there something that you think that I could help you with in your reinvention now?
You could possibly put me on a track to pick up that PhD now that I've got the time to pursue it.
Well, that's a lot of work. I know, happen to know about that track.
I know you do.
Well, thank you so much, John. This has been wonderful, and I appreciate you sharing your story. And don't retire, reinvent. Have a good day. I know you're going to do open mic now, so have fun.
Thank you. I will.
Okay,
We'll see you soon.
bye-bye.